What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? I would appreciate if everybody hits the thumbs up button. Would appreciate that. What's going on, everybody? Desi, thank you for being a member for 9 months. What's going on, everybody? 47 has a crush on Mom Donnie. Let me tell you, that was one of the weirdest meetings I've ever seen under both of Trump's terms, but I'll explain to you what my thought is. Mom Donnie did not want, or Trump did not want any part of Mom Donnie's intellect. That's what that was about. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, Trump just met with Mom Donnie in the White House for the first time as mayor-elect of New York City. And one of the craziest parts was a member of the press asked Mom Donnie to clarify a statement he made previously about Trump being a fascist. And when the question came up, Trump just basically admitted it. He was just like, yeah, just say yes. It's easier to just say yes. Like, dude, do you know what a fascist is? Like, do you know why, like, that's something you should be fighting against? Like, you should not have that attached to your name. But Trump is no match for Mom Donnie's intellect. He wants no part of debating policies. See, Trump knew that if he gets into a debate with Mom Donnie on policy in the White House, that's going to be an ugly conversation for Trump. Trump does not have the intellect to keep up with someone like Mom Donnie, okay? So when they're discussing policies, right, Trump would be made to look foolish. So Trump's statement, I mean, even in the case of fascism, right? Trump doesn't even really probably know how to explain or why its traditional definition is applicable to the president of the United States or this administration. He doesn't even know, right? He doesn't even really know why people call him that because he's just not smart enough to understand. But Mom Donnie was about to explain why that definition is accurate. In detail, I'm sure. I mean, look, you can work on an impeachment, Delilah, but the truth is, like, we don't control Congress. So, like, you can bring articles of impeachment with a simple majority. But the question is, can you remove the president of the United States successfully? And the answer to that question right now is likely no. I think what's going to end up happening with the Mom Donnie stuff is Trump will probably talk crap about Mom Donnie in less than 7 days. Once people like Stephen Miller and others get a hold of him, hey, you can't support socialist policies. What Trump was finding out in real time, watching his brain literally churn and figure out the relationship between FDR policies and Mamdani policies and the similarities between those policies and the fact that those policies allowed Americans to thrive for decades. He even talked about, well, Mamdani saw a picture of FDR and he wanted to take a picture next to it. I guess he really respects FDR. I wonder why. I wonder why he respects FDR. Guys, if you are new here, type 1 in the chat. If you're not new here and you're from TikTok, type 2 in the chat. If you're new here, type 1 in the chat. If you're from TikTok, type 2 in the chat. Let's take some calls. Look, we are awaiting the release of the Epstein files. This is pretty significant news. Also, right, just to make something clear for people, Epstein files signed, Trump called for the death of elected members of Congress. For elected members of Congress. I don't know how you could be cool with that as a Trump supporter. I don't know how you can be cool with that as a Trump supporter. A guy calling for the death of elected members of Congress who are veterans, called for their death. Said that they were committing sedition, were his exact words. Sedition. This guy's out of his freaking mind. Out of his mind. If you are a Trump supporter, you are going to be able to call in here in a second. You'd like to comment on some of these things or what you want to talk about in relationship to all of this. But regardless, if you read UCMJ Article 92, service members have to obey lawful orders only. They have the duty to refuse orders that are illegal. Any order that violates U.S. law, the Constitution, and most importantly, related to this conversation, international law. International law. If you are a Trump supporter and you're still supporting Trump at this point, you're going to go 10 toes down up until the release of the files. Give a call in. Give a call in at 908-652-3703.
Call from
Michael Gabriel.
Michael, are you a Trump supporter, Michael?
So, I have never actually voted for Donald, but I'm not going to lie that the very first campaign was, obviously a very momentous occasion for me, and I was very excited to see that when it happened. And obviously, I stayed in the whole night of the last election because I knew Kamala had really no chance, and that's how that went down. I don't really consider myself to be a Trump supporter. I consider myself to be a Trump objectivist, or an objectivist in general. I like to have everybody see. That's why the Democrats are so much worse, because I'm not really on that side, and I still think that a majority of the things that Democrats do on an action level and in general is just insane. I don't really understand the sense in that they're doing, but regardless, I don't really know what the allegation would be towards the president regarding the Epstein situation.
Let me say
He's
this
obviously
really quick.
Releasing the emails in a
Can I say this?
Go ahead.
What does it matter? Sheffy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Does it really matter? Like, if it's that he just knew about it, does it matter? Like, if he just knew about it, isn't that enough?
Well, I think that when you hear from other people that regarding, like, putting this in a spiritual context, these files implicate things that are apparently much more sinister. So,
what,
yeah, you know
what
what?
do you mean a spiritual context? What do you mean a spiritual context?
Well, apparently these files have much more of an implication, more than do with just people messing with underage girls, or child kidnapping or whatever. It has a much larger context to do with things that imply, like, much more demonic activity, if you will, if you don't mind saying that is what the Epstein files will be. That's what the activity of all of these people, the politicians and so on and so forth, that they are participating in. Obviously, the grand scale, they're participating in things that are much more evil than just those things.
That's sure.
And
do you
obviously,
have background noise? Do you have like a TV going or something in the background? Because your thing.
No, but I'll take you off. Ahead.
Yeah, the Bluetooth is no good for a good conversation.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right, there we go. So
I'm sorry.
I don't know. Still not sure what you mean by spiritual context, unless you're arguing that the behavior itself would be considered evil according to, like, the Bible. Is that what your case you're making here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's this lady that named Ashley Hayes that's on YouTube. You can check her out. She's a big, believer, and she was basically saying that that these files will basically saying things about unaliving people and a lot of other activities that I don't really feel like saying in front of your viewers because it's your show. But
No, I'm
it's
curious.
the files themselves. Yeah, I mean they're going to contain more sick things, basically. Yeah, it's just that's bottom line. I'll try to get back to you
Well, I mean,
if we have a good connection here, and I'll call you back at another time and tell you what the video says and what she says that these files may contain. But I don't know who is blackmailed. I don't know who is implicated. I don't think that Trump. See, it's so confusing because there's a guy online that also has a very serious case that Trump is the Antichrist, which is interesting. And then there's the other aspect that he's done some good work, you know.
like, friend, in furtherance of what specifically?
I mean, you mean regarding the Antichrist thing?
Yeah.
I mean, there's things about his background, his date of birth, the whole 666 Fifth Street thing with Jared Kushner,
Can you
and
tell me his date of birth
just
thing?
tons and tons. Yeah, he had good points.
What? I'm so
Well, I'm gonna have
confused.
to call back in. I haven't watched these videos in like.
Well,
I mean, there's
just out
a
of
guy
curiosity,
online
what do
on
you mean?
YouTube. He has a channel.
Hold on, man. Just out of curiosity, what do you mean by his date of birth? I'm just confused. I really don't know what you're talking about.
Not date of birth. He's not his date of birth. It's things regarding his name and what his name means and what they mean in either Latin or something. It's there's hundreds of reasons that this guy had saying that this man is all pointed towards, like from the fact that his penthouse in New York is loaded with gold and paintings of Apollo, you know, all those things point towards it. His son-in-law, Jared Kushner, the 666 Fifth Avenue building, just there's lots of things that he tries to say point towards. Obviously, it's not really scrupulous enough because he's almost 80 years old, and you know we're not really. If you watch that video on YouTube with Dennis Garcia, they do a chat GPT that asks questions about whether or not we are closer to basically global enslavement through AI. And right now we're at step 3 of 7. Step 3 of 7, how the AI is being used to basically control and make everybody comply.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's quite the theory.
I'm not trying to confuse you.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not confusing me. You're like, I'm just baffled. It's what you're saying is a little loony. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I mean, I don't like Trump, but like what you're talking about is like fucking.
Yeah.
Like, are you all right?
Well, no, this is what the online community is saying. There's different aspects of the online community. There's one aspect that says that he is the Antichrist, which I don't believe. And then there's another one saying that he is going to, with Project Bluebeam, be part of the alien deception in 2027. And then there's another, basically, it's, you know, the government using holograms to deceive all of humanity into believing that an alien deception is coming and use that to make all of us comply with measures of digital ID, cashless, martial law, you name it.
I know what Project Bluebeam is. I know what Project Bluebeam is, but I'm not sure that's specific to Trump because that would have predated Trump.
Well, this is going to be 2027. That's what they're saying. That's towards the end of his presidency.
No, but I'm
third
saying
year.
It predates Trump.
I get it. I mean, I thought Project Bluebeam they're saying that Project Bluebeam extends into this whole hologram situation that they're gonna pull, and then they're saying that, you know, it's by 2032 the everything will be completed. But let's not just get too eschatological here.
Let's just
like
stick.
biblical. I mean, honestly, I
So do you
think we're
support Trump
done
or no?
with supporting him.
Okay, you're done.
I
Okay.
don't think I don't think I can anymore. I mean, I like what the DOJ did recently with Ryan Wedding, and that announcement they made about that guy. I like that they're trying to show a lot of good intent here.
That's bullshit.
But
What you just said.
I don't.
The DOJ,
But I don't.
they've done little to nothing. The FBI and the Department of Justice have completed investigations that were already 90% completed. Like the FBI, for instance, right? Them taking credit for that gambling scheme, that was like 95% completed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I don't think they've
right,
done
and
much
then they after Biden.
Well,
I mean, I don't even. My information isn't really complete. I mean, the only thing I've seen is 8 people, and this is probably a posturing scheme, is where they get in front of a speaker, and then Pam Bondi goes and speaks, and 8 of them are standing there with Kash Patel, saying, with a lot of conviction about this person who's on the most wanted list with the FBI and all this other stuff. I mean, it doesn't really even matter what I believe. I just see things, and I have a mild opinion about it. I'm not really I don't think that's why I never voted. I don't think very strongly about any of these things, and I obviously don't feel strongly about a guy who ran 8 or 9, 10 different casinos, and half of them went to shit, and he sold them to another billionaire. So obviously I'm not going to be too crazy about Donald Trump. But
all right, well, have a good one, man. Take care. What in the absolute fuck was that? Sorry guys, my OBS is fucking up with the thing, but it'll fix itself in a minute. I had to unplug this part of the camera, and that's why it needs a second to reboot here, but it'll come back up in a second. That was fucking an insane call. Like, I'm not trying to shit on the guy, but what the fuck? Sheffy, thank you for the $5 super chat before. I don't know if I said it or not. Maria, thank you so much, Maria. Appreciate you, Maria. All right, I'm going to open the phone lines back up again. If you are a Trump supporter, would appreciate calling in 908-652-3703. You mean your Trump derangement syndrome? No, I think supporting Trump after the concerted effort by the Department of Justice and the Attorney General and the Deputy Attorney General is evidence of TDS. Right? I don't think calling it out is TDS.
Hello?
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 Hi, are you a Trump supporter? All right, have a good day, dude. If you are a Trump supporter, you can call in 908-652-3703. Appreciate it. If you support Trump, if you're supporting Trump through all of this.
Call from
Sunkissed Clothing Co.
No.
To accept, press 1.
No one cares. We'll always do that shit. Try and call with this bullshit. Let's see if we can get a normal Trump supporter to call in. I know one just tried to. Try and call in again to that Trump supporter who just tried. Try and call in one more time. God, so many weird people. Seriously, there are some weird dudes out there, man. You're not getting through, bro. I don't know how many times I have to say it. I don't know how many times I have to say it. Yes.
Call from
Trump forever.
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, you already know, man.
No, I didn't
Hello?
know that. Why are you supporting
You
Trump?
can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Why not, man? Trump is forever, man. Hey, you know what's so crazy? People talk about the Epstein part, right? You feel me?
Yes, I hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, I thought. Oh, you know what? I'm listening. Oh, okay, you do. Now it's on. My bad. But yeah, people talk about the Epstein shit, and they like Trump is still dealing with Epstein. I'm like, dog, didn't his own lawyer come on TV and said that, yo, Epstein, I think Trump dropped a dime on me. I think Trump the one who snitched on me about me fucking these little kids and stuff like that. I'm like, and people will still believe that Trump is fucking with little kids. Why would the man
Can I ask you a
who's
question?
telling
Can I ask you a question?
what's that?
Why would Donald Trump go to such measures to conceal that information from the American public if that was the case?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what I feel like. You feel me? I feel like there's some people that's on that list, and he feels like, yo, I know some of these people. I don't want to fuck these people up, and some of these people controls like big shit. You feel me? That don't be on TV, that we don't really know about. That they controlling some big shit that we don't know about. They billionaires and stuff like that. You know, you got Bill Gates. You got fucking Beyonce and all them. They all them going to the island. I'm like, if you go to the island, something is wrong with you. Like, there's nothing but kids there. So off the ripper, that's letting me know that, okay, that somebody's big is in these lists. You know, that was dealing with this island, and he just don't want to put them out there. But him dealing with kids, I already could tell. See, to me, this is how I see Trump. Trump is a guy who always had money. He always had money. He always was dealing with women. He's like, yo, you never not one time ever heard of me dealing with little kids. I always know how to deal with women. I always had beautiful women around me. I know how to deal with women. I know how to talk to women. People like these other people who dealing with these kids, they never talked to a woman before. It was nerds, geeks, and stuff like that. They never talked to them. So when they got money, they go after, they do nasty shit like that. You feel me? That's all that is, man.
Did you answer Did you answer my question?
About why he didn't put the list out?
Yeah, why was there
I just told you, because
to conceal it? That answer was insane.
Again, I believe that there's some big people on the list, and Trump feels like, hey, if I put these people's names out, it's going to destroy a lot of shit. You feel me? So, you know, Trump is all about bringing in the money right now. You feel me? But, hey, you know, I'm with it too. You know, hey, man, drop the list on their ass, man. But like I said, you got the victims out here talking about something. They finna make their own list. Make your list then. I mean, like, bring this shit out.
But
like,
the
what the fuck? Who's on the list? Like,
the reason they haven't is because they're afraid. Okay, they're afraid about their safety. This has to do with their safety. You understand? This isn't.
Yes.
This isn't.
I understand.
This isn't as simple as you're making it seem. You're making it seem as if it's like, oh, they're not releasing it because they don't want to. We're talking about rich and powerful people capable of. Excuse me. Let me finish, please. These are rich and powerful people.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the same thing you saying.
But again, you're still supporting Trump. I'm not. Like, I don't support Trump, right?
So what? So what?
Because you're
I'm a Trump supporter. Yeah,
okay,
you say call in, right?
Let me ask you a question. If it comes out in these files that he's implicated, are you going to still support him?
Implicated on what? Explain to me. See,
Does
this is
it
good
matter?
that I'm talking to a person who's. Hold on, calm down. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. This is good that I'm talking to a person who's not a Trump supporter. So now I could be 100 with you. Okay, so now what's your question now?
Sure.
So if he's in the
listen to me. Take a deep breath. Okay. It doesn't. You're acting like. Let's say he knew about it. Right. Let's say he was aware that Epstein was a pedo.
No, there's no F.
Okay. So I agree. I think he knew about it.
Okay, let's say that. Let's say that.
So you still supporting him if that's proof, 100% proof is in the Epstein files?
Again, okay, listen, right? Let's say he knew about it, like you say. Let's say Trump knew that, Epstein is wild out here. Epstein fucking little kids and shit out here.
All right, stop saying
that.
Got it. You know what he did. We don't need you to keep repeating that in that way.
Okay. Epstein is wild out here. But didn't Epstein own lawyer came on TV and said, yo, the first time I got charged is because I feel like Trump snitched on me. Ain't that enough for you?
So
The lawyer said that.
why-
That's not enough for you,
wait,
huh?
his lawyer said
The
that? His lawyer said that Trump
Epstein own
snitched
lawyer.
on Epstein? You know he's Trump's lawyer
Yes,
and Trump's friend,
Epstein.
right?
Listen to
You
me.
know that,
Listen
right?
to what I'm saying. Epstein. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
Can you tell me
Epstein's
the name of
own
the
lawyer, his
Yeah.
own lawyer that was representing him,
You're
that was
talking about
representing him,
Alan Dershowitz, and that's not what he
during that
said.
time.
So you're talking about Dershowitz, and that's
So,
not exactly what he said.
so,
Okay, but
so,
he's
so, so,
hold on.
so,
He's also a friend of Trump's. So what you're telling me right now is Trump's friend said that he's not implicated.
oh my God.
Give me a
There it
logical.
is.
Excuse me. I'll break it down for you in a simple way. Okay. Why the concerted effort to conceal it if not implicated?
I just told you why. Because he knows some of those people in that
Okay,
list
so
that
you're
actually did something wrong. That let me finish. That controls some higher up stuff. But this is what I'm saying, right?
hold on.
You
I
feel
want to
me? I'm
address
looking
that
at
point.
what the
I want to address that point. So you're saying it's okay. Let's pretend for a second he's not implicated in any way. By the way, in case you don't know, Pam Bondi already informed him he's in the files. So claiming now like there's a chance of him not being in there is not the case because he
dude.
was already.
What
he was
file are you talking about? Do you
the
know what
Epstein
when they say?
files.
Listen. Do you know? Listen, do you know when they say the file, they mean every person who basically had contact with Epstein. That's a file. That's
No,
what they
that's not
saying.
true.
So just because we had
That's not true.
yes, it is. It's
No,
true.
it
You know
isn't.
that's true. You
No,
know
it
that's
isn't.
true.
No, it
You
isn't.
know it's true,
No,
man.
it isn't.
Listen,
It could be.
listen. When they say,
It
calm
could,
down, calm.
No, it's not. It's through a criminal investigation. You don't know what you're talking about. Why would they have to force
So
legislation? Why would they have to force legislation through? Why did the
listen,
president
right?
send it?
Let me
Why
ask
did,
you a
all
question.
right, man.
When you been
I'm gonna ask you one more time, right? Like, first of all, let's pretend for a second like what you're saying makes any kind of sense. It's not okay to protect other PDF files. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Why did the president of the United States use the Department of Justice? Right? He said we're not talking about Epstein anymore. We're done. Epstein's dead. There's no reason to speak about him anymore. Why did he send his deputy attorney general to sit down with Ghislaine Maxwell when they find out the oversight committee is going to subpoena her testimony? Do you think that's because he's protecting other people?
Dude.
No, it's because
Dude.
he's implicated.
Dude.
He's implicated. Listen, there's no getting through to you. I can already tell. You just don't know what you're talking about. But very simply put, you're condoning anything below directly participating in that abuse. And what I'm telling you is that there's going to be different levels to the information that comes out in these files. It's not going to just be directly
from
participating in
Trump
the
forever.
abuse.
Wow,
What's up?
shit.
Are you a Trump supporter?
Trump forever, man. You know I'm back. But
No, you're not back. What do you know you're not back, clown? You know I'm back. No, you're not. So there is absolutely two elements to the conversation: the conspiracy to cover it up and the extent in which he had a relationship with Epstein. If it comes out and we find out that he was aware of this and he had a relationship with Epstein beyond what he disclosed publicly, right, previously, will you still support him? That's the question.
Call from
Jason.
Jason, are you a Trump supporter, Jason?
Yes.
Okay. Jason, would you like to explain why
Yes, I
you're
am.
willing to support Donald Trump even after there's been a concerted effort to keep it from the American people?
What was it? His concerted effort, or was it every time he went to go to release the files, just like the Bill Clinton Democratic judge said, no?
No,
Let's
that
be
never happened.
honest with ourselves.
That never happened.
A Bill
Talking
Clinton,
about grand jury testimony.
Bill Clinton appointed judge to get the
That's not
information
true.
out.
That's not true. Donald Trump could have signed an executive
No.
order to release these files if he wanted to, just like he claimed prior to this administration and on the campaign trail. So let me ask you a question. If that's the case, why did Donald Trump try and convince Republicans not to sign on to the discharge petition? Let's say for a second he wanted it to be released, right? Why did he try and convince Republicans not to sign on to the discharge petition?
I'm not 100% sure as to why, but I think it would collapse America. Hold on. I think the people who are on that list would collapse America. On both sides of the
So what
aisle.
you're saying
Both
now is that
sides of the aisle.
the reason that it will crush America, that's why he didn't want it released?
But here's why I don't think Trump is implicated in those files, because during the testimony, I'm sorry, not the testimony, but during the trial, when Stacey Plaskett
Yes.
was sitting there texting Jeffrey Epstein,
Right.
he had no viable information to implicate Trump
No.
to throw him under the bus during Trump's trial.
Can you tell me what was texted to Stacey Plaskett, Democrat, Virgin Islands? What was texted to her?
Rona?
Right. Who's
Rona?
Rona?
Ask him about Rona.
No. Yeah, no. He didn't.
Wasn't that
he said he talked.
But what I'm getting at,
can I just explain something
what
to
I'm
you?
getting
Like,
at, if there was
no one's defending.
absolutely,
No one's defending any one party affiliation, whether or not their party affiliation is Democrat or Republican, whether or not they're associated with Epstein. I want them all out, right? So let's be clear about where I stand.
100%. I'm a fair dude.
All right,
I'm a
but
fair
hold
dude.
on.
If
So,
there's
but hold on.
information
Hold
Trump
on. Can I
touched
please
somebody,
explain, though?
go to
Please
prison.
let me explain, though. Okay, let me elaborate a little bit. The point I'm making, though, is that when it comes to Stacey Plaskett, and I'm not defending Stacey Plaskett when I say this, but I want to be clear. They often receive tons of text messages from donors, from people in the public, from business owners, from lawyers, from other people in Congress. The point I'm making is, if you think it's new, scumbags donating to politicians, it's not.
It is because
scumbags have been
no,
donating
I'm not
to
saying that.
Hold
I'm
on,
not saying that.
please let me finish.
I've donated
please
money to
stop,
my congressman.
Guys, stop interrupting me. I'm going to finish, please. Her office, right, claims that, and this has been checked, returned the donation when he was arrested 8 months later. The issue with her is that she still accepted support from him after he was already a convicted sex offender. That's disgusting. Yeah, she should be held accountable for that. They should get rid of her for that. I'd be perfectly fine with that. I would have no resistance to that at all.
He was texting him during the trial.
But I'm telling you, that's
Jeffrey
not unusual.
It's
not unusual, is what I'm saying. It's not
because I can't
it's a
text
hearing.
my congressman
it's not
during
a trial. A trial. It's a hearing.
The hearing. It's in a courtroom. No.
Oh my God.
It's
a hearing.
It wasn't held.
It's a hearing. It's not a criminal courtroom. It's a hearing. They take questions from all sorts of people. Okay? This is not unusual. They are allowed to do that.
No.
Yes, it is, dude. You don't know what you're talking about.
I've never heard of such a thing. I do.
It's weird because it's Epstein. It is not unusual for them to be texting.
Hold on. Can I? You asked me to pause.
Well, you didn't. You didn't shut the fuck up the whole time. Listen, you didn't shut the fuck up the entire time I was talking.
I've never once been disrespectful to you.
You interrupted me. Was
I didn't
disrespectful.
come out of character to you, but you want to say shut the fuck up?
I said you didn't. See, you're still talking.
It's interesting.
Man, shut up, bro. Shut up. All right? You didn't shut up the entire time I was talking. I had to fucking beg you to stop talking. Now you're going to say something to me? I didn't tell you to shut the fuck up. I said you wouldn't shut the fuck up when I was talking. The entire time I spoke, you talked. The entire time. It's a fucking hearing. You think it's a criminal trial. So obviously when you see that, you're going to be like, oh my God, they're secretly texting? I mean, come on, man. Like, you don't have the correct information, so clearly you're going to think it's fucking weird. Rory, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat, Rory. Appreciate you. All right, let's take another Trump supporter that's willing to have a normal conversation. 908-652-3703. If you're going to support Donald Trump through the release of these files, give a call in. Oh, God, they're starting to call me Adam Cry in chat. Oh, wow, that's so new. It hurts my feelings so bad. People have been calling me that for years. It doesn't hurt my feelings, okay? Become more creative.
Call from
James.
James, what's going on? Are you a Trump supporter?
Absolutely.
Okay, James, why are you willing to support Donald Trump through all of this? What specifically gives you the
Because I think
confidence?
Trump was the snitch. That's why he doesn't want the files. That's what I think is actually going on. He doesn't want people to think he's a snitch. All of a sudden, he gets kicked out of Mar-a-Lago. Epstein does. And he's arrested shortly after that in South Florida. You'll think that's a coincidence? When Trump kicks him out for trying to pick up minors in his club, throws Epstein out, tells him if you have a membership, it's now canceled, throws him out of there, and then Epstein gets arrested. You don't think that's a coincidence?
Do you know when the ban at Mar-a-Lago took place? His first arrest related to sex crimes came before his ban at Mar-a-Lago. So that debunks that right away.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. It
Okay.
debunks
Okay. So now let's go
to
to the last guy you were talking about.
Mhm.
Let's go back to what you were talking about with the last guy. And court records. So the court hearing, whether it's a hearing or a trial, doesn't matter, right? If a
Yes, it
witness
does.
is being
You're not allowed
deposed,
to text during a fucking criminal trial. So, yes, it does matter. A congressional hearing and a fucking criminal trial are two entirely different things. A non-voting delegate from
And the
the
penalty-
U.S. Virgin Islands can text people.
it doesn't matter if it's a non-voting delegate. Non-voting delegate
What it matters
or not, there's still representation in Congress, are they not?
What I'm saying
is it still not representation in Congress?
Sure. So let me explain. What I'm saying is it's not unusual to text. They do it all the time. It's not unusual to
Okay,
text.
it's not unusual for Democrats to text with sexual offenders. We understand that. When they
wasn't
know
Trump Hey, bro,
sexual offenders.
shut up, bro. Democrats to sex. Trump was friends with Epstein. He didn't ban him from Mar-a-Lago, by the way. Did you know that? He first warned
He's friends
him.
with Epstein.
The alleged ban
text
didn't
messages,
occur.
The Democrats are colluding with.
The alleged ban didn't occur until he sexually harassed a young girl whose father was an employee at Mar-a-Lago. Okay, that was
Who is that? What's her name? What's her name?
She's a minor.
What's her name?
She was a minor.
What's her name?
She was
just hung
a
herself
minor.
She
Stupid.
just hung herself this year. What's her name?
She was.
Tell me.
Oh
What's her
my
name?
God, you're fucking stupid. The name you're talking about is Virginia Guffrey. You're a clown. Jesse, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, Jesse. You're a clown. You come in and say, oh, he was the one who snitched him. He was arrested before his ban at Mar-a-Lago. He didn't get banned from Mar-a-Lago until 2007. Goofy. You might want to do some research because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But just keep yelling. He was... I swear to God, man. Like, it's the stupidity is just insane. It really is. Sorry, guys. I know my camera goes off every once in a while. It's because of this stupid OBS. So I'm working on it, trying to keep getting it to come back on. I'm sorry it stops every now and then. If you are a Trump supporter, you can call in 908-652-3703.
Call from
David.
David, are you a Trump supporter, David?
No, sorry for wasting your time. I just wanted to come on and tell you that I'm really proud of you for having the balls to face some of these people that just really are not willing to listen to any sort of information.
I appreciate you, buddy.
I'm sure if you asked, you would give them like links to all of this information that you're citing, all these things that you're telling them happen. Like,
of
it's
course,
crazy
and
to
you
watch
can
them just
again.
deny
I
it.
encourage and thank you for calling in, dude. I appreciate it. Yeah, I encourage anyone to look up what I'm saying. Look it up. Fact check me. I encourage you to fact check me. If you are a Trump supporter, call in 908-652-3703. If you want to support Donald Trump through all of this, I would appreciate giving a call in. Let's have a conversation about it. But remember one thing, everybody. I don't care if Democrats get exposed through this. If there are Democrats that are PDFs or associated with a PDF or whatever the case is, I don't care their party affiliation. Get their ass out of my government. Get their ass gone. What's up, man? What's your first name?
Not much. Hi, my name's CJ. How are you doing this evening?
I'm good. Are you a Trump supporter, and why would you support Trump through all of this controversy?
Yeah, I'm a supporter. I'm not like die hard or anything. Excuse me. I do believe that until there's anything, definite. Excuse my language there. Definite that proving that there's any wrongdoing, then I voted for him and everything like that. Then I have to trust him. I think that being more of a centrist like I am, there was funny business coming from both parts. Parties. There's two Democratic appointed judges out of Florida that blocked the release, and then the one Democratic judge appointed by Bill Clinton, now the Southern District of New York, that blocked the release. So it's hard to gauge it because, and again, this is politics, right? We're talking about, so until you rip the scab off the wound, you don't know what you got underneath it, and that's kind of the situation that we're in.
Except Donald Trump could sign an executive order to release the files right now if he really wanted to. Let's be super clear about that. Okay,
well,
that's number one.
So, sorry, go ahead.
My question for you is, if Donald Trump wants them to be released so badly, why does he try and convince Republicans not to sign on to the discharge petition? Why does he sit down with Lauren Boebert for however many hours and try and convince her? Why does he call Marjorie Taylor Greene a traitor? You see what I'm saying? If he wants it to be released, he doesn't make an effort to stop Republicans from signing on to the discharge petition. Don't play ignorant. He did a complete 180 once he knew.
Yeah,
it was,
but that's only
once
at one level.
Once it was
this
going
was a
to
multi-tiered.
Okay,
this
but
was multi-tiered.
He didn't get on board with it until it was going to the House. You agree with that, right?
I do, and then he pushed it.
No, but he didn't push it. He had no choice. There was only one nay vote. Do you understand? Like, it was passed in the Senate
I watched
it
the
was
vote.
passed in the Senate with unanimous consent. There was no stopping this with a supermajority. He had absolutely no option but to support it. Okay? So the thing I mean,
and I have no problem with that. I'm just saying, let's see what's he's going to say. Nobody knows. We're all playing who's that and guess what and pointing fingers, right? Nobody knows what's in those.
I agree, but
so,
can I just lay out why my argument is relevant?
Yes, I have to.
My argument's relevant because there are
no, I do.
Hold on, there are two different aspects to the
throw
conversation.
the baby.
Right? One is the cover up. One is the conspiracy to cover it up. And one is the extent in which he had a relationship with Epstein. You're right. I don't know to what extent. I hope to find out. And not just about him. Anyone who had a relationship, I need to know how much they had a relationship. And I will call all of them out when it comes out. Every single one. Don't care about party affiliation. That being said, You can't deny doing things like telling the Deputy Attorney General of the United States, right, to go sit down with Ghislaine Maxwell only when you find out her testimony is going to be subpoenaed by the Oversight Committee is not corruption. That's corruption at the highest level. He is his personal attorney, Todd Blanche. Hold on. It's his personal attorney who defended him in his criminal cases. Coincidentally, now the Deputy Attorney General sitting down with the violent sex offender, the one person who can implicate Trump outside of the release of the files, and you'd say stop talking about them until the Oversight Committee says they're going to subpoena her testimony? Like, come on, dude. That's corruption, man. Yeah. Call that shit out.
Yeah, but we can sit here and be armchair lawyers, but we have to wait until it hits the courts before we can say anything. So I understand where you're coming from, but we can't, we have to hold them to the same level that we can say you or I went to court. We can't just have the outside or public opinion decide our fate. It has to be, the facts have to be laid out. Everything, the paperwork has to be seen. That's the nitty gritty to it. I get where you're coming from, but I don't think you can just throw your opinion at it and make it stick. You have to have some foundation for it.
Okay, so I'm not, but I am. Concrete. I am. If you would listen to me for a second and stop pretending that I'm substantiating what I'm saying. Do you think that was that meeting quid pro quo?
Was that?
Was
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
meeting okay? So if you're admitting it's quid pro quo, why are you having a quid pro quo meeting with a violent sex offender?
Because there's pay to play. If you do quid pro quo, they do it all the time in criminal
Not
trials.
with-
If
but
you let
they're
one
not- it's
person
not a
escape to
trial.
catch 5, you do too. No, to use them as a criminal informant. Then, excuse me.
She's
Let
not
me take that.
informing on
You cannot-
anyone. She's only saying Trump
Not
wasn't
yet. We don't
criminally
know that.
implicated.
They
Oh my
talked about.
God, bro.
Do you have?
Yes,
do you have
I
the,
do.
Do you have the
Sure.
any of the information from
Yeah,
the
have you
what was
listened
in
to
the
the
deposition then?
So
what was
the
written?
testimony, the only new information offered was that Trump was not witnessed in a private setting, in a private setting, and she never witnessed him act inappropriately. He was always kind in her presence. But when we look at 2011 emails from Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell, it contradicts what she painted about the narrative about Trump. It contradicts that testimony. You understand? So
Again,
you're
yeah,
asking.
but now you're
and by the way,
deflecting.
can
Now
I just say this?
You're deflecting.
I'm not deflecting, dude.
You're
What are
deflecting
you
from
about?
the files to go. You're deflecting from the files to Ghislaine Maxwell. These are two separate issues, right? What her court with her getting moved from one facility to another is a different issue than
Then why
what's
did she get
falling
moved?
inside.
No, it's not a different issue. No, it's not a different issue.
Yes, it absolutely
it's
is.
not
It
in
absolutely
furtherance.
is.
Hold on. First of all, it's not in furtherance.
One
of it.
is dependent.
Are
one
you
is
going to
not
let me
dependent
finish?
on the
Let
other.
me know when it's my turn to speak
Well-
without interrupting. Go ahead.
Okay. Let me know when you're done condescending.
Okay, I'm not
Like
being
you do to
condescending.
everybody.
You just don't know what you're talking about. It's not in furtherance of an
No,
investigation.
see, exactly right there.
Donald
Thank you
Trump,
for proving my
shut
point.
up. Let me
Constantly
finish.
condescending.
All right, I'm going to say it with you off the line since you just can't stop interrupting. It's not in furtherance of an investigation. Trump didn't order the DOJ to launch an investigation until he couldn't convince Republicans not to sign on to the discharge petition. Why? Well, coincidentally, there's a provision in the bill that allows the Department of Justice to come to Congress with reason or justification to redact information that's relevant to the investigation. Maybe it's a cushion to remove information. That part I haven't seen yet. But it wasn't in furtherance of an investigation. It was simply to secure the narrative about Trump. By the way, do you think it's a coincidence that it happens only when the fucking oversight committee says, oh, we're going to subpoena the testimony of Ghislaine Maxwell? You think that's a coincidence? Damn, you're gullible, man. I have a bridge to sell in the fucking desert if you want to buy it. I have a bridge to sell in the desert. Again, only Republicans make this about party politics. Only Republicans are defending politicians in this circumstance. I'm not. I'm only speaking the truth. I don't give a shit who's held accountable. You understand?
Call from
Sam.
Sam, what's going on? Are you a Trump supporter?
Hell no.
All right, Sam. I'm looking to speak to Trump.
Oh, okay. I understand.
Do you want to say something really quick? You can, but
Yeah,
not long.
I do. Yeah, I hate Trump. I hate MAGAs. MAGAs, they're very horrible people.
What?
And
What did he say? What a weirdo. It's probably a Trump supporter. You're racist. What a shock. A racist Trump supporter. What a shock. Sorry, we don't tolerate racism here. Have a good day, racist. No racists allowed. Sorry. No, of course he doesn't. It's just typical. Racism comes naturally to MAGA. You're proving my point.
Kevin Landaverde.
Kevin, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I am.
Okay, why are you willing to support Trump through all of this, Kevin?
Well, it really comes down to economics. Honestly, I'd like to speak on the whole Epstein thing, but
That's fine. Then if you don't want to speak on the Epstein thing, why the fuck are you calling in? You weirdo. Yeah, if you're calling and if you're racist, you're not allowed to call in. Sorry, no racists allowed. No racists
call
allowed.
from
Josh.
I don't like racists. Hello, Josh. Are you a Trump supporter?
Absolutely, buddy. How are you?
Good. Why are you willing to support Trump through all of this? Did you say your name was Josh?
It is. Yes, it is.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So I support Trump in quite a few fundamental ways. I do understand the whole billionaire aspect, and I think I can appreciate where the sentiment comes from as far as at least the popular masses go. Because when you can't relate to an individual on a certain level, it tends you to kind of lead your philosophical viewpoints into certain directions. And that if you're poor, you're going to follow one suit, and if you're rich, you're another. But being that our political class is already kind of completely infiltrated by foreign lobbyists, because when you're a country that's as disgustingly badass as the United States is, and you are any student of history, you realize from World War I and World War II, you fuck around and you find out. But what do you do when you can't beat a country militarily? You infiltrate them. So I do worry about certain aspects of the country and how our political system is now, when you can see an outlier like Trump, who is a political, literal outlier, has no, might hang out with politicians in the day, but has no true political background or true actual loyalty to any party. I get he ran for a Republican, but that was just because the Dems were running their particular, pick your poison at the time. Because the Democratic Party is the old school party of the working man. They're no longer the party of the working man.
That was an incredible speech you just gave. So why are you willing to support Don? You're talking about foreign policy or something? What was the primary cause of
Absolutely. Everything.
Okay, his foreign policy. I mean, this live's not about foreign policy, but I'd be certainly willing to discuss it with you. How do you feel about Trump's foreign policy thus far?
So, first term,
forget his first term right now. Right now, his foreign policy. How's he doing with Russia and Ukraine?
I'm discouraged.
You're discouraged.
I'm discouraged with foreign policy right now.
So the one topic I bring up that you're talking about, you're discouraged with Trump on.
I am.
His foreign policy is a disaster.
I don't say that lightly.
It's a disaster. It's nothing short of a disaster.
At this moment, it is.
Yeah. So.
At this moment.
But but he's perpetuating the idea that he's the peacetime president. He's not admitting to it being a disaster. He's claiming he's doing a great job. We're closer to World War III than we've ever been. Russia's provoking NATO. Donald Trump is recommending we end the war at the battle lines when Russia controls 88% of the Donbass region, which ultimately would collapse Ukraine's economy. They'd never be able to recover economically. So that's a bad idea, right? He should have supported Zelensky from the beginning instead of just supporting Putin and claiming to support Zelensky.
You don't prop up a puppet regime, though, brother. You don't prop up a puppet regime.
Do you understand? We're not propping it up. We have a pre-existing agreement in place, right? A memorandum that says we will support Ukraine if invaded. We were upholding that existing memorandum. But furthermore, Russia ultimately, if they take Ukraine, will attack Poland, which will trigger Article 5 of the NATO agreement, and we'll be in World War III before you know it. It's much more for selfish reasons.
Well, I understand. My cousin's in Poland right now. He's a ranger. They shipped him over here last month. So when I tell you that there's even more going on that you don't understand that's hitting the fan, it very much is. So I agree with you in that aspect. But what I'm trying to tell you is, who are we to play geopolitical police with geopolitical politics? Depending on your region, there shouldn't be any.
That's not.
I don't like.
But we're not playing police there, but we're not.
There you go. You hit the nail on it.
Okay, but we're not playing police in that specific circumstance. If you want to make that claim about dropping bunker busters on Iran's Richmond facilities on behalf of Israel as playing the world's police, then I would certainly agree with you. But saying that we're playing the world's police when we're stopping an authoritarian dictator from conquering a sovereign nation that borders NATO countries like Poland, for instance, when the leader of the country that's invading the sovereign nation said that the collapse of the Soviet Union was the greatest geopolitical catastrophe of the century. Yes, that's how he feels about recreating the Russian Empire. Yeah, but they're a sovereign nation.
Used to be part of Russia.
It's irrelevant.
Now,
they're a sovereign nation.
Just because you install a puppet government doesn't mean you're a sovereign.
What do you mean? There was an election. What are you talking about?
So listen, we told Gaddafi the same thing. You're fine. Gaddafi gave up weapons of mass destruction, and what did we do? We put a coup in the country and killed him. So when I try to tell
This is
you
not the
this,
same
if you
circumstance.
want to infiltrate Russia, we've made Russia the boogeyman, right? So if you want to take Russia out, you immediately install a puppet regime in the country neighboring them.
Except that's not what
It's just
happened
my
here.
opinion that
Can
there
you
would
tell
be
me?
no way to get out of it.
Okay, the point I'm making here, right, is that we haven't there was a free and fair election. You cannot prove there wasn't a free and fair election, okay? Zelensky won.
You can't prove there was.
I can. He won 73% of the vote. And
You
I don't
were
have
over
to,
there?
I don't
You
have
were ballot
to,
watching?
do I need to prove a negative? Right? I'm telling you it was a free and fair election. You're saying it's not. Why wasn't? Prove it's not. You have the burden.
No, I'm saying I can't prove it was, but you can't prove it. I can't prove it was not, but you can't prove it was.
Then
Neither
why
one
are you
of us were
making the
ballot
claim?
You weren't at polling locations.
Then why are you making the claim? You have the
Because
burden of proof in this
it's an
circumstance. Have you ever
oligarchical
debated before?
regime that has literal oligarchs that run the country, brother. This
Guy,
is a common known fact.
Guy, whose fault is the war
within
in
Ukraine?
Whose fault is the war in Ukraine?
The United States of America, unfortunately.
How?
When you have brother, you're a very intelligent individual.
You're not making any sense. This is the one circumstance geopolitically you're wrong on. I don't disagree with you with situations like Iran and others. I'm totally for not engaging in these conflicts and then claiming you stopped them, by the way, when you're the one who heightened the tensions by dropping bombs in their countries. But in this circumstance, this is one person's fault, and it's Vladimir Putin. And I don't like when people try and take the blame away from him.
You're not a Russian, right? You're an American.
Yes.
And you don't like it when anyone comes and plays in our political system, right? Or thinks that they're going to come into our sector of the world, whether it's South America or whether it's Denmark or any neighboring Canada, okay? If Russia was to come over right now and start messing around with Canada, brother, what would we do?
That's not what's happening.
So now we're neighboring our
adversary.
NATO
doesn't
I'm just
have
being honest.
any obligation to not expand eastward, right? They can, you understand NATO is a defensive alliance, right? Nick, that's
up for debate.
Okay, can you all right, then I'll just tell
debatable.
you what treaty, right? Give me a binding treaty that states that NATO cannot move eastward and that NATO broke that.
I can't. You know I can't. You know that it doesn't exist.
Exactly. That's why
You're
I asked
smarter
you.
than that. You're not going to lock me into it.
Well,
again. I like you.
The point I'm making, right, is that there isn't one. It can only.
You're different.
Hold on. The point I'm making is it can only be the fault of Vladimir Putin. Let's just go to this really quick, right? Why are you willing to support Trump after this concerted effort to keep the Epstein files from the American people if you're all for the truth?
Oh God, bro, you're asking some fucking hard. You're actually asking a very hard question, because if you're any sensible, logical individual and you understand the gravity of the situation, that the United States government more than likely had this individual as a covert intelligence gathering asset who literally, I don't even want to talk about trafficking with children and girls. I don't even like thinking about it. Okay. It's very difficult, and I support him because
concerted effort to cover it up.
The ends justifies the means. The ends justifies the means. Because when it comes down to it,
that's crazy.
Finish your question.
That's crazy.
It's
crazy
it
answer.
Is.
That's
but listen,
a fucking crazy
they say
answer.
this
Holy
is why
shit.
this is my grandfather told me. He was a ranger, right? He told me in the military, women don't hold certain positions of power within military leadership and brass for a reason. Because, okay, we're at war. We have to make a choice, friend. We're about to make a bomb, a big one, go boom, boom. It's going to kill tens of thousands of individuals. This is a theoretical. This is just a theoretical. And this is why I tell you the ends justifies the means. Because hard decisions have to be made. And when intelligence gathering is not, it's not neat, bro. It's not pretty. It's messy, and it's fucked up. But the truth is, it has to be done.
Well, this
and
conspiracy
it's understandable when you have to kind of.
But it's not this isn't based on, you don't know you can't justify that's the reason why he's.
What do you mean? The fucking literally the leader of the House, he just came out and said that it's very irresponsible for anybody to be calling for the United States government to release certain things about certain agencies about an individual in a intelligence gathering setting.
Yeah,
what does
well,
that
that's
mean,
standard
friend? It tells
operating.
you that he was an asset.
Well, I don't know that, but we'll find out. I don't know, but we'll find out. But again, that's not.
Can I ask you this? Do you think Charlie Kirk's alive?
No. Why would I?
Or do you think he's dead?
Why would I think he's alive? Well, I don't know. I think there's more to the story, if that's what you're asking me. I have no idea. That story is fishy as hell.
Okay.
But anyways.
Very fishy.
All right, I'm going to move to the next caller. Thanks for calling in.
Absolutely. Hey, brother.
Thanks. Take care. If you're a Trump supporter, call in 908-652-3703. You guys lean hard on conspiracies, man. Things you can't substantiate. We don't know if he's an intelligence officer. I mean, that's a theory. And would it shock me? No.
Call from
Tom Sweet.
And by the way, I'm going to be clear about something to everybody who says that theory. Let me just say this really quick. To everyone who perpetuates that specific theory, I don't think we would find that through the Epstein files anyway. When it just in regards to like how secretive intelligence agencies usually operate, I find it unlikely we would get that information through the Epstein files. I think you're going to get some shocking information in there. But if you're expecting complete transparency, no. Go ahead. Are you a Trump supporter?
I voted for him.
Okay.
I would say I'm a little more conflicted these days. I'll just tell you this right off the rip, brother. If I'm not like someone that is, contentious or good for the channel, don't feel bad if you hang up on me, but I guess my thought process at this point is honestly, give me a second here because I wasn't
You're
thinking you were gonna
struggling
fucking
with
have
your
me.
relationship with Trump. Listen to me. You're in an abusive relationship and you need to leave. If I had to take a guess. You are in a relationship where you had expectations that were not fulfilled. You were lied to. And you don't want to admit you were wrong about this person.
I agree with that.
Okay.
I don't have an issue admitting I'm wrong either. I think a lot of guys on here, I think what they're struggling with more than anything is I feel like they see a lot of hypocrisy to a certain extent where everything's crashing down and, I mean, I'm not defending any of this shit, but Biden had 4 years where, we could have given so much of a shit about releasing the Epstein files, and it was kind of hush-hush, and now it feels like everything's crashing down. And I know there's a lot of information, a lot of more information coming out as far as, implications on the shit. And
well, let me say this really quick. In
it's
regards
all
to
fucked,
Biden,
bro.
I understand. Let me say this in regards to Biden, though. Let's pretend for a second, and I said this yesterday, a caller called in and asked me, what would you say, because he had Trump supporters in his life. He said, what would you say to a Trump supporter that says, why didn't Biden release it? Biden should have released it before. Do you guys think, and first of all, without getting into the fact that it's sealed by the court and there was an ongoing investigation and all these different things, when it became unsealed, understanding all these very important factors when we're discussing that in depth, do you really believe, had that been released during the campaign, Trump's campaign for presidency, that Trump supporters would have believed it? MAGA, you will never sell me that you would have believed if the Biden administration dropped that information during a campaign for president of the United States. Trump's campaign for president of the United States. Let me explain why. You were perpetuating conspiracies that the Democrats were trying to take this man's life. You called it a hoax when you're the president. When your guy's the president, he said it's a hoax. You guys would have dismissed it as misinformation. It would have, in fact, I believe it would have lost most of its credibility for people on the right side of the political spectrum that support Donald Trump. You would have never believed that you wouldn't have looked at a Democrat administration releasing the files and said, oh, we got to look through what these Democrats released so that way and not vote for Trump anymore. You would have ignored it entirely, claimed it was misinformation. And by the way, Trump would have probably done that successfully, especially coupled with the assassination attempt and all the other theories he was perpetuating at the time. Trump's supporters buy into everything he says, hook, line, and sinker. And had he been running for president, you guys would have claimed it was an attempt to keep him from the White House. Don't sell me anything else. I know Trump supporters, and that would have been their reaction. So it doesn't really matter.
Can I say 2 points?
Mm-hmm.
So I think simply by Trump's popularity and like the ratings that we've seen a lot of who you would consider MAGA pull off from him because of things that he's done, things that have happened. I mean, it's been what, 20, 30%? A lot of those people and those percentages are coming off of people who you would consider as MAGA. So I don't think everyone is as non-objective as you think they are, and they're so hard line on MAGA. A lot of people thought that it was, I don't think it's as much MAGA, bro. I think it was people just wanting to believe in an America First movement. And a lot of people are realizing that that isn't the case, and it was a lie. And it's the same thing as it's been with every other president, every other thing. And, you know, there are going to be people, I agree with you, that are going to stay hardliners who, no matter what the fuck he does, are going to stick by his side. But I don't think that's the majority.
Yeah, so like whether or not, whether or not it's the majority, we're about to find out, because and thank you for calling in, dude. Appreciate it. I'm going to move to the next person. Appreciate you calling in.
No, you're fine, bro.
All right.
I'm losing my words.
No problem. Take care, dude.
Take care.
Take care. No, we're going to find out anyway, because once these are released, right, and we know he's in them, to what extent I think it matters, not in the sense that it doesn't matter what's in them, but whatever's in them is probably going to result in people should not be supporting him anymore, and will. So I think that will prove it by itself, the release of these files. But we'll see. I mean, I have no idea. Like I said, I think my immediate concern, if people really want to know, I'm highly, highly concerned, and we're going to have some probably really explosive conversations when the files are released. I'm going to go through them on YouTube. I was going to do it on TikTok, but I realized with TikTok's community guidelines, I'm going to be doing it on YouTube. If you guys are new here, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, make sure that you are subscribed, so that way my channel pops up when you are when I go live, so you don't miss lives, because I am live a lot and the times aren't exactly the same all the time, and they're going to be more random with all this news coming out. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and hit the bell. Keycat, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I am a blue dot in a sea of red. Thank you for your conversations. Enjoy the sand pounding. Yeah, that was crazy yesterday, Keycat. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. If you guys do want to support the channel, if you do like the content, I would appreciate supporting through a super chat, subscribing, hitting the share button, posting this on your Facebooks, telling your friends, all those things. I am also on TikTok. I usually debate on TikTok every single morning. So if you've never seen me before, that's typically where I am. If you know me from TikTok, type 1 in the chat. I'm just curious how many people in here know me from TikTok and how many don't.
Call from
Chris.
Chris, what's going on? Are you a Trump supporter, Chris?
Yeah, from Nebraska.
Should I call you Chris or just Chris?
That either way. But
okay. What's going on? Why are you so confident in supporting Trump through this controversy?
Well, it's just his temperament and just on character alone. A lot of it is because like say like the H-1B visas, he's gone back and forth on that. Even though that in somebody like myself who is America First, I would still go with them because apparently we are in that much of need of labor to still need some of those H-1B visas. So, there's the things that he runs on and the things that he's against, and those are just generally how politicians sort of set up to be.
But if it comes out here with the release of these files from the Epstein Transparency Act and there's something criminal in there, are you still going to support him? Even if say he knew about it, would you still support him?
No, it'd have to be substantial. So say if he actually visited the island, then that'd probably be something to hang him for.
That's crazy.
But
he has to visit the island for you to stop supporting him? Disco D, thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Appreciate you so much.
Yeah, well, his relationship was through Bear and Stearns and real estate, from what I understand. So that's going to be a lot of New York politicians. They're probably going to have a relationship with him. Since wasn't he the CFO or something of Bear and Stearns?
Yeah, I agree. That's definitely going to be the case, but that shouldn't be the only thing that you don't support him for. Last Phoenix Falling, what if he knew about it? Last Phoenix Falling, thank you so much for the flower. Appreciate it.
Well, they had that one dude, Congress. He kind of leaned on maybe he was an informant. It would have to be something like that. If there's no
they redacted that.
He did take it back, but yeah, he took it back, but I don't know if that was a slip up or not.
No, it was. He said it. You're talking about
Johnson.
Yeah, it was the speaker. It was Speaker Johnson who said it. It's not true. It's been debunked thoroughly. It wasn't an informant. Did he offer information to an attorney, according to that attorney? Sure, but that doesn't mean that he's innocent. We've seen throughout history people who engage in criminal conduct trying or attempt to interject themselves into investigations to find out whether or not their name is among the people being accused and or prosecuted, or if there's information about, sometimes they just do it for some weird satisfaction. So that alone doesn't prove anything, right? But I just mean, as a person who claims you're America first, how can you sit here and watch the president of the United States? And again, he failed. Well, he failed so far. I don't know that he failed completely, and I'll explain that further. But how can you watch the president of the United States use the Department of Justice as his own private law firm? Why are they working in a defense attorney capacity to keep information from the American people, which is exactly what they've done? Why is that okay with somebody who claims that it's America first and these people should be working for the American people? They're working for the president to keep things from the American people. That's not in the best interest of the people of this country.
I'd like to see my president have the free power to exercise his power and do his job without having to get pulled into court every 5 seconds. That'd be pretty great.
Related to what? What are you talking about?
Anything. They keep on trying to pull him into court, or all these bullshit charges that are obviously bullshit. Anybody who says that any of the charges.
Let's go through them. What specific out of the 4 criminal cases do you believe were bullshit?
All of them, all the sexual harassment ones and the property one.
Those are civil cases, not criminal. It doesn't involve the Department of Justice. Wouldn't have nothing to do with the federal government. Can you tell me?
The felony.
Okay, so the first case is falsifying business records to hide campaign finance violations. The second case is an obstruction of justice and willful retention to retain classified information. The third case is a conspiracy to defraud the United States. The fourth case in Georgia was a racketeering case. What of the 4 criminal cases?
Yeah, all of them goofy.
Okay, why is the documents case goofy? Why is the case he was convicted on goofy?
Just the whole what they say, the way that they ran, there was no underlying crime in that one. Oh, you mean the one where he didn't redact it, right? Or he said he redacted it. The one where he's keeping the documents. It's a different one I was talking about. You're talking about the one where he had classified documents and didn't give them back.
Well, either one. What's wrong with the documents one? You can explain. Well, what don't you like about that one?
It's just he was told. I think the FBI was explicitly told him to keep the documents. He locked it up in a room, had the room in lock and key, and then the FBI, instead of just coming over to get him, they just raided his house. So that one was goofy as shit. So the FBI knew that he had the documents. He said he told them that he had the documents, and then they raided him for it.
That's not true. So first of all, what you don't understand is this was an 18-month-long investigation asking Donald Trump to return the documents. This didn't happen overnight. They didn't tell him keep the documents and then they raided him. Okay, that's just not true. In early 2025, they were instructed. Are you talking about the flagging the files? Is that what you're talking about? Because I'm not sure specifically what you're referring to. But they tried to sit down with Trump multiple times. That's where all the obstruction charges come in. Donald Trump did a number of things to obstruct justice during the course of the investigation. It's not so much related to his willful retention. Oh, that's part of the indictment. He obstructed justice by lying to investigators, enlisting people to destroy evidence, and then lying about it, ignoring a government subpoena, lying on an affidavit. These are the things he did to obstruct justice. That was an 18-month-long investigation. They were trying to get him to return the documents. Why do you think Biden wasn't indicted? All right, Biden's case was a willful retention case, but there was no proof of intent because Biden didn't obstruct justice during the course of that investigation. Trump did.
Either way, it's still
why is it bullshit?
Millie Mouse Piddly shit.
Why is it bullshit? Obstruction of justice is against the law.
I imagine there's like several things that politicians do throughout the entirety of their career that could probably get, microscoped down and probably get 3 or 4 felonies to misdemeanors per politician.
So for sure, and I agree with you, but in regards to other things, but certainly not like obstruction as it pertains to willful retention of classified documents, right? You can't name a single person who's gone to the lengths Donald Trump did to conceal those documents.
He just had documents from while he was president that just doesn't really matter to me at all.
You're missing the point.
Does that matter to you?
It may not matter to. Well, it depends on what the documents are. There were very serious classified information in there. If you didn't know, if you read the indictment, you'd see as a part of that indictment, Donald Trump was like sharing classified information that war plans for other countries and things like that to people who had no security clearance whatsoever. But so that's just like in terms of like it being dangerous. Classified information is classified because it could harm like national security, right? So obviously I care about it in terms of national security when it comes to willful retention. But the obstruction of justice portion of this that was Trump's choice. Trump obstructed justice, right? Trump made the conscious decision to not cooperate with an investigation, right? And lied to investigators during the course of it. That's against the law. You can't do that, whether you're a former president or not.
Without actually knowing what the documents were verbatim, I just had to take all that on hearsay as far as what they were and when he was apparently sharing them with who or what.
Did you read the indictment?
Like if all the hearsay I'm like I didn't go through, so I don't know what actually was in the
I'll simplify it for you. You brought up the FBI. Is the FBI in charge of telling the president, right, like whether or not to return classified documents?
I don't think so.
It's the National Archives, right? And there was a long process with the National Archives and the Justice Department requesting those documents and subpoenaing information and telling Trump to return all classified materials he had taken from the White House when he left office, right? Despite receiving the request from the government, it's not optional. He didn't do that. That's against the law. It doesn't, like, you may not care about it, but like if it could cause a risk to national security, you should. The obstruction of justice was an optional thing. That's a decision Donald Trump made to not cooperate. You understand? So I don't know why you would have a problem with that case. You should have a problem with Donald Trump being such an arrogant asshole that he decided to obstruct justice during the course of that 18-month investigation rather than just cooperating. He could have just returned him, and this never would have been a problem. David, thank you so much.
Yeah, but apparently Trump thought he had.
Sorry, go ahead.
Had apparently Trump had thought that he had a right to hold on to those documents for whatever reason. If you think that the guy that we elected would share those documents,
all right, I'm going to do this for you. I haven't done this in a while.
Do anything untoward like that.
I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to put you on hold. I want you to turn my live stream on, okay? And I'm going to show you the portion of that recording that was in that indictment. I'm going to put you on hold, and I want you to turn my live stream on, okay? You're going to hear it play through my live stream. You're going to hear it play through my live stream, okay? Because I'm going to play the audio. So you can literally hear Donald Trump doing this. Had you read the indictment, then you would know this piece of information already. So I just find it kind of weird when people like say that they are that the Department of Justice was weaponized by the former president, and then they never read the indictments. All right, please listen to the live on hold, and I'll play it. Okay, guys, hold on real quick. I just have to bring this up for this guy. I find it remarkable, guys. Like, if you think that it was weaponization of the Justice Department, right, then why didn't you read them to find out? Everyone take a listen. Here we go.
These are bad, sick people.
That was your coup, against you.
Well, it started right at the
like
beginning.
when Millie's talking about, you were going to try to do a coup. No, they were trying to do that before you even were sworn in.
That's right.
Trying to overthrow your election.
Well, with Millie, let me see that. I'll show you an example. He said that I wanted to attack Iran. Isn't it amazing? I have a big pile of papers. This thing just came up. Look. This was him. They presented me this. This is off the record, but they presented me this. This was him. This was the Defense Department and him. Wow. We looked at some. This was him. This wasn't done by me. This was him. All sorts of stuff. It's pages long. Look. Wait a minute. Let's see here.
Yeah.
I just found. Isn't that amazing? This totally wins my case,
Mm-hmm.
Except it is like highly confidential, secret. This is secret information. But look at this. You attack, and
Hillary would print that out all the time,
she'd send
Private
it.
email.
No, she'd send it to Anthony Weiner, the pervert.
Please print.
By the way, isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
I was just saying because we were talking about it, and he said he wanted to attack Iran and what. These are the papers. This was done by the military, given to me. I think we can probably, right?
I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to try to
Declassify.
figure out
it. See, as president, I could have declassified it. Now I can't, but this is classified.
now we have a problem.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
It's so cool. I mean, it's so. We here and I have. And you probably almost didn't believe me, but now you believe me.
No, I believe
it's incredible, right?
No,
hey, bring some Cokes in, please.
So let's bring the guest back on, and I'll explain this further. Do you hear it?
So, I'm sorry. It's just super loud elevator music the entire time.
What's super loud?
And then when you put me on hold, it takes all my audio and makes the elevator music.
Guy, I said listen to my live stream. I just played.
It plays through my phone.
All right. I'll try and explain this to you. So basically, Donald Trump was sharing classified Pentagon documents related to potential military action against Iran in 2021 during a meeting at his golf club in Bedminster. Okay, he was speaking to an assistant, right? People who were basically assisting Mark Meadows because it was about the Mark Meadows memoir. That's the reason they were having this interview, right? And so Trump was showing them these classified documents stating, yeah, these are classified. This is classified information. I bet you didn't believe me that I had this here. It was a highly classified document that he acknowledged on tape was highly classified, right? And you could hear him showing them the physical document, right? That sharing was not authorized. The attendees listening to him share that did not have clearance, right? So that's Trump's retention and sharing of a classified document, and there's proof of it. So to say there's no justification behind the indictment is absolutely absurd. There is justification. Now, beyond just the willful retention portion, you have a obstruction of justice, an effort to conceal that he's in possession of those same documents. So it's a justified indictment. What other indictment did you have a problem with that I can explain?
I just think they're all petty.
Okay, but they're not, and I can explain every single one of them. Why'd you have a problem with the one he was convicted on?
That one with just the whole procedure through the court system was kind of jank entirely.
What about it?
They did not have underlying crime underneath it.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
I believe it didn't have an underlying crime. There was no crime he was being charged for that would escalate it to a felony.
That's incorrect.
All those felonies that he got arraigned for didn't have an underlying crime attached to them. They're all enhancers.
That's not true. That's not true. So in the state of New York, okay, falsifying business records in the first degree, right, is what you're talking. That's what he was charged with, okay? It automatically gets elevated to a felony when it's to aid if there's an intent to commit or conceal another crime. So beyond mere falsifying business records, which is a misdemeanor. So 175.05, you're right, is a misdemeanor, right? But it automatically gets elevated to a felony when it's to hide campaign finance violations.
I don't believe those were campaign finance issues. That was for a loan, I'm pretty sure.
For what?
I couldn't tell you. I just know it was for a loan.
The money is so what was the money for? It's hush money, right?
I don't know.
To conceal a story that was going to be damaging to his campaign about an affair with Stormy Daniels. Okay? That's actually election interference. Guy, there's nothing wrong.
That was it. His lawyer came out and said that he did that on his own volition, and then he later recanted and then said that Trump, in a covert way, without explicitly saying it, told him to do it, which I don't think holds up in court.
Let me explain. I'll explain the statute to you, okay? A person is guilty of falsifying business records in the first degree when he commits the crime of falsifying business records in the second degree, and when his intent to defraud includes an intent to commit or conceal another crime, or to aid or conceal the commission thereof. So the element that elevated Trump's charges to a felony level was the additional intent to conceal the aid or commission of another crime.
Yeah, but you have to be charged and it has to go through the system, and you have to be convicted.
He was convicted.
Put on anything.
He was convicted.
They took the of the enhancers and 2 crimes he was not convicted of, which is fucking wild.
So you do understand he's a convicted felon in that case, correct?
Yeah, in the fucking weirdest possible way you could possibly convict somebody for crimes that he had not been convicted of.
What?
The enhancers were put.
Oh my
God! The enhancers were put on.
You have very little information about these cases. Here's the point, man. You make claims.
No, you're being weaselly about. No, you're being very weaselly about this one.
I'm not being weaselly about any of it, dude. What do you mean I'm being
that
weaselly?
one? He was never convicted. He was convicted of enhancers to a crime that he was never convicted of.
Oh my God! It's just too stupid. He was never convicted. Holy fuck, man! I just can't. I try to explain. I try and be genuine and explain this stuff to people. But when I just realize you're just not going to accept the information I'm giving you, there's just no point. If you're a Trump supporter, call in 908.
Call from
If you're a Trump supporter, call in 908. Oh, let me comment on one thing because I've seen a lot of this, and people are asking me about this, so I want to say this again just for everybody. If you guys did not see Mom Donnie in the Oval Office with Trump, I highly recommend you go watch it. It was fucking unbelievable. Trump started basically admitting he agrees with socialist policies. It's funny when someone actually sits down and has a conversation with Trump one-on-one without all these little weasels around, right? Without all these little chuds, these MAGA chuds like Stephen Miller, and somebody just explains those policies, suddenly Trump doesn't disagree with them the way that he thought he did. Suddenly he's not an evil communist. Here's what really happened. Mom Donnie he's just too smart to debate policies in the Oval Office with. If Trump tried to debate these policies with Mom Donnie, he would have been made to look foolish. But one of the key parts that I saw that I could not believe, and I uploaded a video on TikTok on this and on Instagram. You guys have to go check it out. A member of the media says, hey, Mom Donnie, would you like to address the fact that Mayor-elect Mom Donnie, would you like to address the fact that you previously accused Donald Trump of being a fascist? And Donald Trump goes, just say yes. Just say yes. It's easier. Just say yes. Just say yes to being a fascist? We're talking about fascism here, and he says, just say yes? People. Holy fuck, man. I don't think Donald Trump you know what I really think? Donald Trump didn't want Mom Donnie to give an explanation because he would have said how it is applicable to the current administration. Mom Donnie can explain it, right? He can give characteristics. He can explain why its traditional definition is applicable to the president. And Trump did not want him to answer that question because he would have explained it. I wish Mom Donnie insisted. I would have insisted. Oh, no, let me please explain why it's applicable to you here. Right? I want to say. But it was certainly refreshing to see someone in the Oval Office, right, talking about, and Trump was nodding his head, which is crazy, that the American people don't want to keep funding genocide or funding wars that they have nothing to do with. Guys, some guy in the chat wrote, this is a stupid web page. Guys, look what this guy wrote. This is a stupid web page. Dude, are you on like a Palm Pilot right now? Oh my God. He wrote, this is a stupid web page. Bro, are you on a Palm Pilot? Oh my God. Do you have a little pen that you like tap the thing? This guy's got a BlackBerry. This guy's on a BlackBerry right now. He's literally on a BlackBerry right now. This is a stupid web page. Oh my God. I haven't heard that sentence since the late 90s. I haven't heard that sentence since the late 90s. Jesus. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you so much. TDS means Trump does swallow. That's a good one. This guy's asking if I'm a war criminal. How am I a war criminal, dude? I'm not in elected politics, although I have plans to someday maybe do that locally. Grandpa, that's enough of the internet today. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Man, when you start calling it a stupid web page, it's time to log off, dude. It's time to sign off. If you are a Trump supporter and you want to give a call in, 908-652-3703. Tell me why you are still willing to support Donald Trump at this point through all this controversy. Why do you remain as confident as you were in the beginning of this term or maybe even the last term with all this controversy?
Call from
Brian.
Brian, how are you? Have you ever called in before, Brian?
No.
Nice. How are you, Brian? Are you a Trump supporter?
I am.
Okay. And why are you a Trump supporter through all of this, Brian?
You got that so wrong, what you said about the 34 felonies. Totally
Oh,
wrong.
I've spoken to you before. I've debated this clown before. He says the same. I did not get it wrong. I dog walked you the last time you called in. That's why you're lying. I recognize your voice. I schooled you the last time. Remember, you got in bed. Guys, go 4 videos back. I absolutely dog walked that guy. He doesn't understand. This guy thinks they changed the statute of limitations so they could prosecute Trump when it happened during COVID. Simpleton. Joanne, thank you for the $9.99, Joanne. Appreciate you, Joanne.
Call from
He says the day I did not get it.
Make sure you say your name in the call-in. Make sure you say your name. I recognized his voice right away. He's literally just cannot get over this New York case, and I've explained it to him 500 times why it elevates to a felony. I've explained everything. He just can't get over it.
Justin.
You guys can go watch me debate him.
press.
I don't know what if it's two. I think it's like 2, 3, or 4, 5
Yeah.
videos back. Hey, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I am, because he's the president.
Because he's a what?
And I'm a veteran. He's the president. As a veteran, I have to follow the commander-in-chief, whoever it is. I think it's one of the things that civilians don't understand.
No, you don't.
Yeah, actually we do.
No, you don't.
Now, if it's legal, no, what you're saying, what we were talking about legal, you're absolutely correct. But what is illegal?
Are you on
I mean,
Bluetooth
going
by any
into
chance?
and
Hold on one
supporting
second.
like different
1 second,
things.
dude. 1 second. Are you on Bluetooth?
All right, here you go.
Yeah, please take it off Bluetooth.
Sorry.
It just sounds
But-
weird. Okay, go ahead.
It is.
Yeah, the veterans don't
But-
have to support the president. Not sure where you got all that.
Let me ask you another question.
Can I finish? Veterans,
totally
like
get what you're
all
saying.
U.S. citizens, have the right to their own political beliefs. Go ahead. Okay, have a good day. If you are a Trump supporter, call in 908-652-3703. I guess he came in, said something that's not true. By the way, why'd you hang up, bro? I wanted to have a conversation with you. You're a veteran, so you have to support Trump. That's your argument? Why'd you hang up, man?
Call from
Sheila.
Hey, what's going on? Are you a Trump supporter, and why? Hold on 1 second. Hey, are you the guy who just
call
called?
from
Elroy.
No, that's fucking...
to accept.
All right, what's up, man?
Yes,
How
I'm
are
a
you?
support Trumper.
Okay.
I'm fine, and you?
You're a Trump. You said you're a Trumper?
I said I'm Trump supporter. I support Trump.
Okay. And why are you supporting Donald Trump through all this controversy?
Because he's real. And he made the whole economy understand that what we've been dealing with all along is fake news.
Okay. Can you explain how? Can you elaborate a little bit further?
Because he first came in to make changes. And when you make changes, just as well as normal people on the street make changes, it's always going to be somebody to try to stop you when you're interfering with what they're trying to do. So
And what
Trump came
changes
in
are
and
we
shook up the
talking
whole
about,
party.
sir? What changes are we talking about, sir?
Changes of the economy, of trying to put America back where it needs to be at. We depend on ourselves and stop trying to help other countries. And we go bankrupt and always got to not have nothing. And then when it's time for us to
Okay.
take care of our own country, we
Okay.
can't even take care of it. We didn't give all the money away.
Okay. So let me ask you, how does dropping bombs on Iran's enrichment facilities America first?
Well, that's just part of the economy of casualties. You
What?
have to get them away from us in order to start.
What? We're doing it on behalf of Israel. How's that America first?
Well, it's like I said at the beginning, if we can take care of ourselves and stop trying to get into other people's business, then we can take care of ourselves.
But
and
Trump's
then deal
not
with
doing
other
that.
people. Well, what is Trump trying to do for you? How do you think Trump is not helping us?
I just explained it. I just gave you an example. Can you address the first example I gave you? He's done Israel's bidding in regards to Iran specifically. What about money? What about billions of dollars to Argentina?
Those are things that is out of my reach of really trying to give you an understanding, because I'm not really following that as much. I'm trying to understand what's going on in our economy first. It's hard for me to keep up with the other countries because it takes me off focus of our own country. We're so worried about the other countries and what's going on over there.
But
they're bombing.
But Trump is worried
wars.
about them. Trump is worried about them, isn't he?
And I don't understand why.
Okay, so then why do you support? I asked you why you supported Trump, dude. I'm not sure why you're asking me why. I don't support him.
And no, I said because he's making a change here in America. I can't debate and argue with you about what's going on in other countries.
All right, what change is he making here in America? Do you support his mass deportation operation? Do you think that's making good change?
Well, it's separating the badnesses that's coming over here.
What badness?
Cutting it down a little bit.
What badness are you referring to?
All the illegals coming over. We barely can get jobs. That Americans can barely get jobs. You got illegal aliens that could come, illegals that come over here. I won't call them aliens, but you got people from other countries that come over here and get more support than the people that are supposed to be here.
That's not true. That's not true.
You got
undocumented immigrants aren't even undocumented immigrants aren't even allowed to collect federal benefits. So how would they be receiving more support than American citizens? Number two, we actually see
because I have.
Hold on.
But actually, and got a food stamp card. I got over $2,000 on a food stamp card. We don't even get that. So I couldn't even understand it until she paid for something and showed me the receipt. It showed me the balance that she had left on the county.
Here we go, everybody.
Came from another country over here and got aliens.
So if you're talking about undocumented immigrants aren't eligible for food stamps under federal law. So what federal benefit are you referring to?
Okay. But they are receiving it, so they're doing it illegally. Then you would say, right?
No, they're not. They're not eligible for SNAP.
Okay,
so no, they're not.
What?
You don't know what, because what you're confusing is the difference between a lawfully present person and someone who is undocumented. So this anecdotal story, which is similar to every anecdotal story that I've ever heard from every Republican who makes this same claim, right? How did you determine this person's documentation status? How did you determine whether or not someone excuse me, sir, excuse me, I'm talking. How did you determine their documentation status? How did you determine whether or not they're an asylee, a refugee? How did you make the determination what their documentation status was? Go ahead, explain that to us.
Because I know the person's family member, and I sit up there and I seen them go down to the county building, coming from TJ and got legal aid.
So what's their documentation status?
What's going on. They're not legally here.
That's not true. What's their documentation status?
They don't have one.
So wait, they went in and got the aid the same day?
They're not here on a working visa.
Wait, did you just say they went in and got the aid the same day? You don't get the aid the same day.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Get a food stamp card.
You do not get it the same day.
You get it the same day. You tell them that you're homeless, you don't have a place to stay, and they turn around and help you fill it out the support.
You do not get approved for SNAP benefits. It takes like 30 days to process applications. This story is made up. I just caught you in a lie. Just caught you in a lie.
No.
Thank you for the $5, Junior Lopez, sending me $5 to say something that's not true. Thank you so much, Junior Lopez, for the $5 to say something that's not even true. You're talking about guy on the phone. Stop talking. What you're talking about is the difference between programs at a state level for people seeking asylum through lawful entry, right? Whether people are refugees or asylees, right? We're talking about state level programs and federal programs. They do not get SNAP. And number two, it takes 30 days, right, to be processed for SNAP benefits typically. There is expedited processing, but that's typically a 7-day process. This guy was just caught in a lie. Undocumented immigrants do not undocument. Guy, do you understand what SNAP is?
In what state?
In what state? What?
In what
state? What?
It takes 30 days.
Do you understand?
In order for you to get food stamps, legal aid. I'm asking a question. In legal aid, how does it take 30 days in California?
You don't know the difference between a state and a federal program. SNAP is a federally funded.
I'm not talking about federal.
SNAP is federal. Goofball.
County. I'm talking about county.
Oh my God!
County aid. Food stamps are
listen to me.
Listen
to me. Shush. Listen to me. Go do some more research. Or if you're not going to listen to me, I'm going to hang up. SNAP is federal. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking. You're embarrassing yourself because you're a know-it-all and you know nothing. You're a know-it-all of nothing.
That's why I'm listening to your station so that I can
Cool.
learn
So
and
let me
listen
explain
to
this
things.
again. Your story is completely made up out of thin air, and it's a federally funded program. Stop making up stories on the internet to demonize undocumented immigrants.
I'm not putting down immigrants.
Yeah,
I'm
you
telling
are.
that
You just made up a story.
you
just
can go-
made up.
you
You
can go to
just
the
made up a story to try and substantiate
Okay,
a claim about undocumented immigrants when I can prove you're lying.
Okay, prove to me that they can't go into Los Angeles County and go straight into the county building and apply for
Sure,
legal
they
aid.
need proof of citizenship. Debunked.
No.
Yes.
They-
Yes.
No.
Yes, they do.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, you do. You have to provide. Oh my God, Guy! If you're not
give it-
lawfully
they give
present,
it-
you
they
cannot
give it to
receive
you.
SNAP. You're incorrect. You don't know what you're talking about. It's
2
embarrassing.
seconds, 2 seconds.
Listen.
2
Good luck
seconds.
with your county-funded SNAP program. Good luck with your county-funded
Call
SNAP
from
program. You shoot. Mike, are you a Trump supporter?
I'm a non-politician supporter.
Okay, so you're a non-politician supporter calling in to a political talk show.
I would like to state on the record that the person operating this talk show is in.
State on the record, it is high, it is far, it is gone. There's that Muppet who doesn't know what he's talking about. You absolute shoe. Take 5 seconds to Google what I'm saying. SNAP benefits are funded federally. Federal law explicitly prohibits undocumented immigrants from receiving SNAP. Just Google it. Stop believing me. You're confusing it because you think because it's administered by the state, it's not federally funded. You're not, it's embarrassing. Google it. Go to Google and type in Google, can undocumented immigrants receive SNAP? And then type in, how is SNAP funded? Okay? And then come back here and say, I'm sorry, Adam, I'm an idiot. I think I know what I'm talking about, but I'm just spreading rumors about undocumented immigrants because I don't like them. So like I said, over the fence to deep left center, he's now batting .320 on the year. That's going to be 3 for 3 this evening with an outstanding performance in the field. Listen, Adam Cray is a remarkable shortstop. He's got a hell of a bat, and he's now batting .320 on the season. How can you not subscribe and hit the notification bell? If an undocumented immigrant lives in a, say, using the elders in the household could apply for the best. Again, still not proving the point. God, somebody just wrote in chat, who's Google controlled by? Someone in chat just wrote, who's Google controlled by? And then someone else wrote, if Google says that Adam's correct, that means it's correct? No, it doesn't. Oh, my God. Dude, these people will go to the end of the earth to win an argument, man. Even if it means saying the sky is purple, right? They don't give a fuck about the truth. You could say this color here is blue. And they would say, no, it's not. It's red. Well, we can see it's blue. Let's bring a few more people over, and they'll say it's blue. Oh, yeah, it's blue. Oh, yeah, it's blue. Oh, yeah, it's blue. Yeah, it's blue. Why? It's not blue. Just because you want it to be doesn't mean it is. Okay? Emoy, if I have to see you type in chat one more creepy lie, I'm going to block you. Go Google it. Stop spamming my chat and go Google it. So now Republicans went and Googled it, and now they're back in my chat saying, yeah, because the DNC owns Google. They own all the mainstream media. Thank you so much, Shane, for the Canada $5. Idolizing Trump is like thinking the stripper likes you. Shane, that's a good one, dude. That's a good one, Shane. I'm going to use that. Give me permission to use that one, Shane. Please give me permission to use that one. Oh, my God. Yes, Barbie the doll, please separate yourself from this if you think it's stupid. Please do. With a quickness, Barbie. With a quickness. Oh, my Lord. It's just so funny, dude. Like, it's hilarious. Listen, I'm going to tell you guys, if you have not seen Mom Donnie in the White House, whether you're on the left or right side of the political spectrum, you have to go watch that meeting. It is a can't-miss meeting. I uploaded a clip on my TikTok and on Instagram. I'll be uploading it on YouTube when I get off here because I have to do some editing tonight. You guys have to watch Trump basically admit, yeah, just say I'm fascist. I don't care, to Mom Donnie. Like, literally just told him, like, hey, just say yes. When the press asked him to clarify a question about whether or not he's fascist. It was fucking insane. Guys, if you are new here, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. Make sure you know when I go live so you do not miss any lives. I would appreciate it. Someone in chat said 40% of SNAP recipients are illegal. Oh, my God. Can you, like, seriously, you guys are just some of the most simple people on planet fucking Earth. Like, you really fucking are. You really are. Like, it's insane. You could literally Google and find out you have no idea what you're talking about. You have no idea. Like, you couldn't be more incorrect. And you could Google it and find out in 5 seconds that you're incorrect. Guys, I love you so much. Thank you for all the support. Hey, guys, if you enjoyed the live, type 1 in the chat. Let's get some ones in chat if you did support the live. I want to know there's some smart people out there, and I appreciate you guys for watching. I know we're surrounded by a lot of really, like a bunch of weirdos right now in this country, but it doesn't have to be that way. If you enjoyed the live, type 1 in the chat. I would appreciate letting me know if you enjoyed the live. Give me some ones. And we are going to be, they think Adam is screening the calls. Yes, me doing this by myself. I'm screening the calls. Yes, I'm doing this by myself, dude. Somebody just said, I want a source. Google isn't a source. It's federal law. It's federal law. You also don't understand the difference between someone who's lawfully present and someone who's illegal. But now, as a result of the big, beautiful bill, you don't have to worry about that. These people who support Trump don't want to be wrong, even when they are shown to be wrong. Trumpets, it's okay to be wrong. You won't get ridiculed for being wrong, only for staying wrong. Big facts, Luis. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat, Luis. I really appreciate that, and you're 100% correct. The only time is when you won't admit the truth. I'm perfectly fine with telling somebody something and them accepting that information and moving forward. But this unwillingness to listen to the truth, even when we're talking about federal law, I mean, it's just insane to me. It's insane. And then denying, no, it's not against the law. Yes, it is. It is. All right, everybody. I appreciate you guys coming. Thank you so much, guys. Make sure you hit the... Oh, guys, someone in chat said stop donating. Someone in chat, Danny, said stop donating to me. Guys, Danny does not want you to donate to me anymore. Danny is super pissed off that you guys are donating to me. Right here, we got Danny's telling me to... Guys, make sure you don't donate to me. You don't want to upset Danny with a super chat. Danny, make sure you don't upset Danny with a super chat, anybody. Is it true? Did Trump really do that thing with Bill? Well, I don't really know, but those are consenting adults. I'd be much more concerned with stuff relating to children than I would consenting adults. But I will say this. Ghislaine Maxwell had a horse named Bubba. Do I know who Bubba is? No. I don't know. Jay, thank you so much, Jay. 210 Raid Christopher, thank you so much, Christopher. Charcity with the 5. Christopher W. Charcity W. E.E. Green on behalf of Danny. Danny, you shouldn't have said that, Danny. You shouldn't have said that, Danny. You saying that literally just resulted in more people supporting Danny. How does that feel, Danny? Boosted 2.4 Sky with the $20 super chat says, here, brother F. Danny. Thank you so much, Boosted. I really appreciate you, Boosted. Shane, thank you for the Canadian 2. Appreciate you, Boosted. Thank you so much for the 20, dude. And Christopher, thank you for the 22. Thank you so much for both of you. Charcity says the people who think you screen calls are the ones who can't figure out they shouldn't call while you're already on, have a caller on. Yeah, Charcity, thank you for the $5. It's remarkable how many people don't understand I can't answer 2 calls at the same time. If I'm on with someone, that means I can't accept another call. I'm not avoiding your call. KeyCat, thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you so much, KeyCat. There's only 2 minutes left on the gifting goal. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Cassandra, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, everybody, for the support. I really appreciate it. Julie, thank you so much, Julie. This is F. Danny. Love you, Adam. Thank you so much. Love you too, Julie. I really appreciate the support. Jay, thank you for the $9.99. I'm a Trump supporter, not a Danny supporter. Thank you so much to Jay. Appreciate you. Mother of Sassoles, thank you so much for the $4.99. Appreciate you. Happily, thank you for the $9.99. Appreciate all of you so much. Thank you, all of you. Happily, Mother of Sassoles, Jess, Gently, Jay, Julie, No One, Cassandra. I appreciate all of you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream tonight. I do want to let you know that we have a lot of good content coming. There's going to be a lot of really difficult conversations that are going to go down once this is released, obviously, and obviously other political discussions that we have on a regular basis. I do want to get into something else tomorrow that's in addition to this, so stay tuned for that. Charcity, thank you so much. Let's hit the goal, guys. Almost there. Yes, almost there. Look at all the maggots crying. I love watching them cry, dude. They're so fucking angry. Look at them. Maga's so mad, dude. Birdie, thank you for the Canadian $2.79. Desi, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you so much, Birdie and Desi. W. Adam, keep telling Maga to ST of you. Thank you so much, Desi. Keycat, thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you so much. Man, they are fucking mad, and it is funny as hell. It is funny as hell, dude. Michelle says, Danny said to send this to you. Thank you so much, Danny. Love you, Michelle. Thank you so much. Jess, thank you so much again, Jess. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Now Mag is accusing you guys of all being fake. J Claw with the $5 Canadian, you know, always have your back, just contributing to Danny's cardiac arrest. Yes, thank you so much, J Claw. Guys, I look at the chat. Like, they're literally furious, and it's hilarious. It really is. I appreciate you, brother, but there's no debating Trump cultists. Well, some there is, some there isn't, but for the most part, you're right, D. Stewart. For the most part, you're right. But, you know, even just, I've only been debating on YouTube for about a week. I've been on TikTok for, you know, a few years. I've been debating for 4 years or something online. Longer than in real life, but online for 4 years. And I can tell you that I've definitely reached people. It is possible, but I'm more or less speaking to the people listening. I don't care too much about the MAGA supporters specifically. Charcity, thank you so much, Charcity. Jess again, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Appreciate it so much, man. Listen, MAGA, here's the thing. We're going to have plenty of time. All right, we'll talk. You don't need to get so angry. Calm down, right? Take a deep breath. It's going to be A-okay. That I promise you. One thing I do want to say, guys, for everybody here, there is no politician that you should support through criminal conduct with Epstein. There is no politician, regardless of their political affiliation, that you should support through their criminal conduct with Epstein. And I hope that you do not make this about party politics, right? And you swallow that and you assist us in taking this country back. These people largely do not give a fuck about you, especially Trump. So it's good for our country to get the truth. I hope if there's a large portion redacted, you guys will not support that effort to conceal that from the American public. I hope that's the case. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming. Yes, absolutely the Clintons. Absolutely the Clintons and anyone else involved. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming tonight. Appreciate you. Hope you have a wonderful evening. I will see you bright and early. We are streaming, I think, tomorrow morning. It's Saturday morning. It's going to be on TikTok, though, probably. I think, anyway. It might be on here. You might want to, well, make sure you subscribe. If I decide to do it on here instead of TikTok, I might do that. I might just go straight to YouTube tomorrow morning. So if you guys normally watch me on TikTok, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell here because I might actually do the stream here instead of TikTok tomorrow. All right, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Have a wonderful evening. Christmas is right around the corner. The holidays are right around the corner. Turn on a movie like, I don't know, Home Alone or something. So that way you can kind of, you know, start to distance yourself a little bit from politics for the evening and get a good night's sleep. You know? Christmas right around the corner. Turn on some kind of Christmas movie. It always changes the mood. All right, everyone. Be well. Take care of yourself.